Welcome back. Breaking news on Georgia's looming recount. Congressman Doug Collins is leading the Trump campaign's recount in the Peach State. He outlined what he expects from Georgia's Secretary of State. And in a statement, he says, quote, first, there must be a full comparison of absentee ballots cast and in-person and provisional ballots cast throughout the state. Second, there must be a check for felons and other ineligible persons who may have cast a ballot. Third, and most importantly, the Secretary of State should announce a full hand count of every ballot cast in each and every county due to widespread allegations of voter irregularities, issues with voting machines, and poll watcher access. Meanwhile, the current senators from Georgia are calling for the Secretary of State's resignation for how he handled the count so far. Joining me right now is Georgia Congressman and House Judiciary Committee member Doug Collins. And Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you. I want to know about this effort in Georgia. First, can you tell us where you are on this and what you're expecting?
Good morning, Maria. Yes, we're expecting a full and transparent legal counting of votes in Georgia. You know, it's been amazing. You and I have talked about this over the past few years. For the last 4 years, I've heard nothing except from the Democratic Party about the election and interference and all the bad things about the last election. And even in 2018 down here in Georgia, we had all the discussions from Stacey Abrams and others about voter suppression. And now when we ask, we're simply saying, let's count every legal vote. Let's make sure that we do have an accounting. Let's make sure that our ballot that are cast also match our voter rolls, and make sure that people who are not supposed to be voting did not vote, or if they did vote, have those illegal ballots cast out. We're asking the Secretary of State simply do their job. There's nothing wrong. There's no sour grapes here. This is simply following the law, and that's what we're asking the Secretary of State to do.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we had Sidney Powell on this weekend, she talked about election fraud, and I wonder, Stacey Abrams was saying that she was also impacted by this. Do you know anything about that case?
Well, Stacey Abrams made a lot of claims about Georgia. Some of the biggest claims is that she was against our governor, Brian Kemp, and she made false claims about him and voter suppression. It's interesting to me that when they talk about voter suppression on the Democratic side, it's that they lose. And the issue is that they didn't have the turnout that they had looked at, and they were trying to make votes up as they go. And voter suppression in Georgia, if this is what we're doing in Georgia, it's not working, because since 2014, the actual increase in minority participation in our voting elections have actually increased many times over 20%. So people are voting in Georgia. What we're trying to make sure of is what they're voting, and what others are actually getting is a true legal count, that you're not having people vote outside the county. You're not having people who have moved away, who are not legal residents. Those are the kind of things that we have saw a lot of, and we're getting reports of every day. Our inboxes are full over the last 3 or 4 days, especially of people after they see this saying, wait, this wasn't supposed to happen. Why did my absentee ballot not get counted? Or why was I said that I already had voted absentee when I never even got a ballot? These are the kind of questions that must be asked if we're actually to say that it's a true and legal vote here in Georgia.
Yeah, and it looks like those are the questions Attorney General Bill Barr is asking. The AG, of course, sending out a memo Monday night authorizing Justice Department prosecutors to investigate specific allegations of voter fraud before election results are certified in December. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell defended the president's legal pursuits in his first public comments on this since the media declared Joe Biden the winner on Saturday. Here's Mitch McConnell. Listen to this.
Our institutions are actually built for this. We have the system in place to consider concerns, and President Trump is 100% within his rights to look into allegations of irregularities and weigh his legal options.
So, Congressman, where do you suspect investigators could find cases of fraud?
Well, I think the bigger issue is the voter irregularities is really in the absentee ballots. And in Georgia, we do have an issue here. We do need to have voter IDs actually on our absentee ballots so that we can actually know who's voted, how they've segregated out once they've been turned in. The issue that the discussions that we're having right now is making sure that every legal vote counts. I've said this before. Every illegal vote suppresses a legal vote. And this is the problem we're seeing across the country, Maria, not just here. And I'm glad to see the Attorney General weighing in on this issue, because the vote is the very essence, and the Majority Leader made that comment just now, harvesting and things that we have heard reports of down here. So for people to have assurances that their vote actually counts, which is the very heartbeat of America and how we have run our society for over 200 plus years, we've got to make sure that those are all adjusted. My question is why are the Democrats not joining me here in Georgia saying, yes, we want to have every legal vote? If they believe that Joe Biden won Georgia, then they should be with us. The problem is I don't think they do. And they're just wanting to get this election done quickly, not accurately.
Wow. Let me bring Dagan McDowell in. Go ahead, Dagan.
Congressman, now that the Republican control of the Senate goes right down to Georgia and the elections in early January, do you bear any responsibility for running against Republican Kelly Loeffler and splitting the Republican vote and maybe even discouraging Republicans from voting for her in the general election?
No, actually, I believe I actually helped the Republican Party actually turn out votes. We had a very good turnout on votes. And when you look at it overall, these elections are going to come down, especially special elections. When you have that many people in a race, there's going to be a runoff. What we have here, though, is we had these vote irregularities. We've had some other things that actually pushed the other Senate race into a runoff as well. Right. Look, Georgia is going to be very clear. There's a real choice. You have Senator Loeffler, you have Senator Perdue, you have John Ossoff, and Raphael Warnock. It's a clear choice. You either want conservatives or you want liberals who will take this country down a wrong path. My responsibility is to do exactly what I believe, and that is to put out views and to let the voters decide. But look, Georgians are going to make a decision. We're going to see our two senators, I believe, reelected when we come in to January 5th, and that's part of the process, Dagan. If people are not allowed to run in a primary, then my question is, then we get into a situation where party elites and others pick the candidates for our country. We don't want to see that. Otherwise, we'd have never had Donald Trump as president.
So, Congressman, explain the importance of this upcoming runoff in January. What is the difference in terms of the policies that we could see come out of it, depending on the outcome?
Well, if you want to see a giant move to the left, if you want to give the Senate over to Joe Biden and have the House as well, then you're going to see issues of, the new Green Deal is not going to be a fantasy at that point. It'll actually get into law. If you want to see your health care go away, then you actually will see that happen. These are the kind of things that just real off the top of the cuff will say, this is why this important decision matters as we go forward. Now, we're still hoping that the election for the president will turn around and we see these irregularities turn. But if not, the Senate is the backstop that will be there. And Majority Leader McConnell knows how to work that. He knows how to protect those values. But we actually have to have the Senate to keep that going.
Yeah, and I think it was Sidney Powell on this program on Sunday who said you also were a victim of these irregularities in your own race because of the software used. We're going to keep investigating that. And any thoughts on that before you go?
No, I think that's part of the investigation. Everything is being looked at.
All right. Good to see you this morning, sir. Thank you so much, Congressman Doug Collins, joining us in Georgia. Quick break, and then Joe Biden's COVID